was built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on the gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna end.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name. Check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change. Possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working. Never stop searching, never quench the thirsty. I'm toxic and psychotic with this logic, you can't stop it. It's been chronic since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic.
Built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas.
This is a video of a 2002 Ford F-150. I'm changing the spark plugs, the ignition coil, and I will also have a video of the valve cover gasket. This is the type of vehicle. 2002 Ford F-150 Triton V8, 4.6 liter. Okay, as you can see, I already took some stuff off. I said, you know what? Let me make a video. Somebody might need help with this situation. All right, all the tools that I'm using is these tools right here. One of this, half it, not half, 3/4, 7 millimeter with a short extension. I put a extension for this. You could have your own spark plug, socket. Yeah, I bust my knuckle. See that? That shit hurt. 5/8, but mine's is magnetic, and also extension. It's this long. It's not too long. That extension. You also need an extension that long. See, so it's double. You need one like this, and it's another one that's double, because you're gonna need it for certain spark plugs. All right. Okay, let's get down here. As you can see, I already took a lot of stuff off. Okay, first, what you'll do, I took some stuff off. You see this cable? This cable here, it goes right here to your valve. Is this cable. It's been disconnected from right up here. From right here. See? From right up here. Right here. This is your wire. I just moved them out the way, so they'll be out the way. Also, you see this? I disconnected from this. It goes right here. I just wanted some space, so I moved it. It's also a tray. You see this tray right here? This is what the wires sit in. It comes out. So what I did was, the wires got these little plastic plugs that snaps into right here. One right here and one right here in the back. I took them off so you could have more space with this wire. This wire will be more flexible to where you can put it up top and get it out of your way. And what I did was I tied it up with tie straps. After I disconnected the coils and the injectors. Here's the injector plugs. All you gotta do is put your on the side of it, squeeze it, and pull it up, pull it up. Same goes for the coil plugs. It's a little plug in right here at the top. Right here, you press it down and you pull it straight off. You have 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And also 4 injectors. 1, 2, 3, 4. When you take them off, and you take this whole wire, see this wire? It's a harness that was in this loom. You can take it up here. And what I did was take this out. You just pull it up. You pull it off these screws. There's some screws right here that they go on. Right here. They only have 2 of them. You pull them off and take it out the coffin now. It gives you a lot more room. A lot more room. Okay? There is 4 8mm screws that's holding the coils. Right here. 4 of them. Okay? You take all 4 of them out with an 8mm. Take all 4 of them out. Mine is already out, as you can see. You also need to disconnect this. It's a PCV hose that goes back here. I also got this up here. It's right here. See that? I'll put it up top. So everything, the PCB hose, be careful because it's plastic. This is it right here. You just put it up top and tie it up to the AC, I think it's the AC low side is what I tied it on back here with a tie strap, and keep them out the way. But be careful with them because it's plastic. I don't have a heater coil connected in here. I have to cut the wires and put them right here. I made a T and make this. So for y'all that have the heater coil goes to the back here. So all you gotta do is just tie that out your way. You just have to look and see what you need to do on your vehicle, because all vehicles are the same, but like mine, I don't have the heater coil. So I could push this back and tie it up with a tie strap. Okay? I think that's all you really have to get out the way to get those injectors and coils. The reason why I did that is because I want more space. You might not have to, but I just need more space. And the reason why I'm doing all this and putting all these wires up here is because I got to change the valve cover gasket also in this same video. So that's why I did what I did. You might not have to take all this out of here, like tie them up and all that. Just disconnect them and you could get these out without moving all this up. But I just did that because I'm going deeper into this and moving the valve cover, and I need those to be out of the way. So now you should have had all your screws out. These screws, all you got to do is hold this and pull it up and pull them out. All 4 of them. All 4 of them. That's 2. Here go the 3rd one. And there's one more in the back. That might be the hard one, but it's not really hard. This one, you see that it goes in and it go under this pole. You got to pull out the pole and then pull it up. They have these rubbers, so these rubber flexes. See that? They flexes. All right. So those are all the coils that was in here. Now, you go in here, it's your spark plugs. All of them in that hole. That's 4 of them. The spark plugs that I got, socket is a magnetic. In these 3, 1, 2, 3, you can use this long extension, and it goes in here. See that? And then you just take them out. And the reason why I have a magnetic socket is that when I pull the spark plugs and I'm done turning them, I can pull them up and they will come out with the spark plugs. They won't be dropping. So you could go ahead and do all 4 of them just like that. See that? Put them in, take them out. The 2nd one. 3rd one is right here. And the 4th one in the back is right here. You can use a long socket, but putting it back in, you don't want to, because you don't want to mess up the thread. And this long socket was hitting on this. So that's why I tell you I use a different socket for the back one. And it's this socket, the shorter one. See, it's half the size of this extension, short extension. My bad for the back one. All right, so go ahead and take all of those out. You can pause the video. I already took mine out. I already put mine back in also. So you can take them out and put yours back in. And also what did I do is you can look at your truck right here and it show you the gap for your spark plugs. People like to go to AutoZone and buy these spark plugs supposed to be already gapped. I don't care. I'm an old school. I'll still check my gap on my spark plugs because you never know. One could have dropped. It could be like a universal spark plug to where it goes for different calls and it's not set. So check your spark plugs gap before you put them back in. Mines are already back in. So now I'm gonna put the video on pause and I'm gonna get my new coils. I'm not putting those old coils back in. I also replaced these injectors before. I never made a video, but they're not that hard. So let me pause the video and get these coils and come on back and put them in. Okay, we are back. I'm not putting back the old coils. See, I'm putting back these red coils because I have a red truck. I just like the coils. I got them online. They're not very expensive. I want to say I got 8 coils for about I want to say under $50. It might be like $30-$40. They tell you, oh, they're not good or what. These same coils that I just pulled out is still good. I'm just replacing the plugs on the coils. And I've been having these in my truck about 4 or 5 years, and I bought them online with the spark plugs for like under $50. So don't let them tell you none of that. Okay? Okay. We're about to put these coils back in. Y'all bear with me. I got my phone in my hand. I'm outside in the garage trying to put some coils and stuff back in, you know. It's football night in America, baby. Hey, football night in America. Just get all 3 of them. Just put them in and put them in the position you want them. And then we'll come back and put the bolts in. Yeah, just push them down. You kind of push them down on the plug and let it snap. You know, you're not going to think that they're down, but they're down. And this one back here is not the hardest one, but you know, you just got to maneuver it and push it on the, see that? It goes right here. Okay, that's all 4 red ones. Oh, that shit looks sexy. Ah, that looks like sexy, girl, boy. That's a sexy look right there. Red bone. Red bone. Now, never put your screws in with a tool. Always use your hand and start them. Start the screws before you start tightening with any type of ratchet or yeah, shaky or not. See, they're in. Now all you gotta do is tighten those bolts. Push these down on the plug. Now you come back with your 7mm. See what I told you I use? 7mm with a little extension with an adapter. Now all you gotta do is tighten these right here. And if you're just doing your coils and your plugs, you really didn't have to take these off and put all this up. You could have did that while that was down here. I just moved them because I'm finna do the valve cover gasket also. So what I show you to move is if you're doing the valve cover gasket too. But while you're doing the spark plugs on the coils, you don't have to move all these wires up here. These wires could be unplugged and just be sitting right here. But I'm going deeper into it. Now we on the way of doing the valve cover. Yeah. So on the valve cover, as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And on the back side, here go another one. Right here. 7, 8, 9, 10. And one is way on the corner over there at the end. What I use to take that out is this. It's a ratchet swivel. So that you probably could use a regular ratchet, but this just did the job easier. And also what I did, I used just a regular 8. Just a regular 8mm. Don't have the extension on the last one in the back here. Way down in the corner. You can put your hand and you'll feel it. But there's no other screw on the corner. So that's great. So you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 screws that hold the valve cover. Mine is already loosened up and it's ready to come out. So when you loosen that up, all you got to do is hold it here. See that? See that? It's loose already. But I got the video. Got my phone in my hand, so I can't do it and take it at the same time. But it's not a hard job. It's pretty simple. It's just that you have to, get them stuff out the way like I showed you. But I will pull the valve cover off. Now what I did was I cleaned out my valve cover. Yeah, it's gonna look like that when it's dried off. I didn't want all that grease on there. All you gotta do now is up to you what you wanna do. But what you gotta do now is clean all this off. See this? Get you a little razor blade, but be careful, you don't want none to drop in here. So you can put something right there so when you scrape, it don't drop in there. This part right here, you put a little silicone right here, and the same thing goes back here. Right there. You put a little silicone, but you gotta clean all this off with some brake part cleaner where the gasket lies. And then we're gonna put the gasket back on this. So we can put the valve cover back on. These are the original one that came off. This is the one I'm putting on. Same thing, but all it do, it got these little things to where it goes into those grooves and they won't move. These I'm not gonna replace. I took mine out of here. As you can see, I took them out and I cleaned them and I washed them. You can put them in gas. You can put them in soap. I'm going back here because that's where I got them. This is them right here. I just got them drying out. I just clean them with some soap, water, and a brush. That's what I clean them with. Just regular soap. You could use brake part cleaner, but I just use those, But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and clean this off, this area, and we'll be ready to put the valve cover back in. Okay. Yeah, I want to give you a little FYI. You see these push-ins? You can take them out. And the way how I took them out was with this. You know, the tool that you take off your panels with, you just get it and you kind of push it up onto here and you pry them up. It's rubber, so you're not gonna hurt anything. And when I'm putting them back in, what I did was use just a regular something, and you can put on top right here, and then hit it with a hammer. But I use my rubber hammer to push them back in. So that's how you take them out, and that's how you push them in. That's in my valve cover. Okay? By now, y'all should be through cleaning this valve cover area in the engine. So now we're getting ready to put the valve cover gasket and the valve cover back in. I can't video while I'm putting it back in, but you know how you take it out. Just put it back in and make sure that the seal that's on the bottom of the valve cover do not move. As you can see, I already cleaned the spots where I'm gonna put the valve cover back. This is the valve cover that I got. You see, it goes in over these. The old one didn't do that. So you got to be careful, make sure this don't move when you're putting it back in. So now we're going to put it back in and we're going to tighten it down. That's the new valve cover. I cleaned my valve cover out also. And I took my time and I cleaned that up. You could use some sandpaper or some Brillo pads. That's what I use. But be careful. You don't want to drop nothing inside the engine. What I did was I cleaned it, but I made sure I put my hand there or the vacuum to catch it. I'm finna put the valve cover back on and then I'll be back. Yes, as you can see, I just put the valve cover back in, and right here on the edges, right here, and then on the other side at the bottom, I put some silicone, because you know that's where it separates a little bit. So put in all your bolts, don't tighten them, hand tighten them. And now the end, we're gonna start tightening the bolts, but we're not gonna tighten them tight. We're just gonna go one, we're gonna go vice versa. Tighten this one, tighten that one. Tighten this one, tighten that one. Tighten this one, tighten that one. All the way until we get them snug, and then we tighten them by hand, okay? Go ahead and do that. Yeah, as you can see, the valve cover is back on. Look how sexy that look with that red. And I tighten all the bolts. You should have been done did that too. Like I said, when you tighten this bolt, you go to the bolt at the bottom. You go to the bolt at the bottom. You go to the bolt at the top, vice versa. But you will know when they're tightened because they're tightened to a certain extent. And you will be able to feel it. So now what we're gonna do is put all this stuff back together, like plug these back in, plug the coils back in, PCV valve, and all these wires that I got hang up. I'm gonna cut the tie wraps and I'm gonna bring them down. I'm gonna show you where to put them back. And you see these two right here? You have two, this one, this long one, and this other long one. You gotta make sure you know where to go back because these stuffs clips on them. See that? You got one here and you got another one right here. That's gonna clip on those extended things. You see right here? See it? They will be able to go back on them. So you have to put them back where you get them from. Okay, the valve cover is in. I cut that. You remember the plastic thing I was telling you about? That's this. It goes over this one and it goes over that one in the back. And your harness, you see this plastic piece? It pushes into the plastic right here. Just like the other piece on this side. See this right here? It pushes the plastic right here. They got two holes. You snap them in. Let me snap mine in and I'm coming right back. Well, as you can see now, everything is back together. All you got to do is just put your clips back on, put the coil back in, all these back in. And if you unthing this right here, You plug this back up, it goes here. So you might have to unplug it. Also, this vacuum line, it goes back up here and connect back to this line. See vacuum line right here? But I'm gonna change the rubber because the rubber that was on mine is like this and it's not any good. But that's the job, man. Everything is back together. You know, your wires, what I'm telling you about, you put them back on those screws right here. Valve cover gasket, spark plug change, coil change. This is on the passenger side of a 2002 Ford F-150. I hope this helps somebody. Holla!